has to preach the truth and tell your little child that there is no Santa Claus. He ain't dropping off no free gifts. Your parents worked, they gave, they believe, and they bless you. But tell it like it is. Church folk get upset with you. Again, I'm going to pull folk out of the text who are going to represent a certain group of people. Number one being political people. Number two being religious people. And finally, I'm going to deal with wise people. And we're going to be done with this message today. In the text, Herod, the king, lowercase k, represents political people. Not all, but when you look at the majority of people who are political, they are intelligent, rich, powerful, and wicked. Herod represents a very powerful political man. And when he heard about the birth of Jesus or Christmas, it offended him or troubled him. Troubled Herod to the point to where he wanted to destroy or kill Jesus or Christmas. Be aware that if you're going to try to be politically correct in our day and time, you also going to try to kill Christmas. Because it's not politically correct to celebrate Christmas biblically. Some of you know I'm right about it. You quiet. But notice back in verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go search carefully for the young child. When you have found him, this Herod talking, bring back word to me that I may come and worship him also. See the lie Herod told? Herod was a hypocrite. Oh, Lord, I know we got some folk love politicians in here. And I ain't talking about all politicians, but so many politicians are hypocritical. They say one thing and do another. So you got to be careful of politicians who stand in front of the camera because they want your vote, they want your support. They tell you, church folk, what you want to hear, but behind the door, they making other decisions. What he saying? He talking about the Republicans or the Democrats? Both of them. He told them, hey, when y'all find Jesus, when you locate Christmas, come back and let me know because I want to celebrate it too. Then went behind the scene and was trying to kill Jesus or what? Christmas. I'm going somewhere. Hypocritical folk want to kill Christmas. I was reading this week where a family stayed in a nice neighborhood. So they had what you call a housing association. Some of us are familiar with that. Some of us live in certain neighborhood where you got to pay your POA dues and you got to do certain things and keep your house up. And it appears to be good. What they're trying to do is make everybody take care of their home to the point to where your neighbor's home won't hurt your home. But see, when you're trying to be politically correct to please people, you come against the word. So these folk in this nice neighborhood decide that they're going to put up a nativity scene depicting Jesus as the reason for the season. Homeowners Association got with them and said, we command y'all right now to take it down because people in the neighborhood are offended. And it's got to come down now. Notice that the folk in the neighborhood were offended at the nativity scene of Jesus. Offended that they were trying to say Christmas is about Jesus. Do you feel me? Offended at what? The truth. But upholding the lie. got to recognize when people will celebrate a lie, but offended at the truth. What is truth? Truth is there is no Christmas tree. That's truth. Because if it was, not only would that nativity scene have to come down, them trees got to come down with it. But guess what folk understand that some of us don't understand is that that has nothing to do with Jesus. They were not offended at Rudolph in folk front yard. As if a reindeer actually lived with a red nose that would light up. And reindeers can fly. Folks okay with it. But let a pastor preach the truth. And tell your little child that there is no Santa Claus. He don't come to the hood. He don't drop off no present. He don't come down no chimney where apartments don't have them. He ain't dropping off no free gifts. Your parents worked. They gave. They believe. And they bless you. But tell it like it is. Church folk get upset with you. In this church, well, we hadn't spoken to the church and didn't like how you brought it forth. So harsh. That little boo-boo didn't understand that Santa Claus wasn't real. Pastor, we hadn't told him. Okay, he's 10. But now listen, like I always teach, if you have a tree, Pastor ain't telling you take your tree down. I'm not even condemning the tree. I'm just saying don't relate it to Christ. It's not Christmas. It's a moneymaker. That's what it is. Okay? But again, people came against these folk being hypocritical because they were offended at the truth. They look at one in my neighborhood. Because I would have told them, we'll take it down. But oh, Rudolph over there. Oh, I am offended at that. Oh, God. And listen, because I know some of y'all will leave here today and go to your folk house and step in the door preaching against them. You don't do that. That's ignorant. You don't go in nobody's house trying to tell nobody what to do in their house. You hear me? That means if you go somewhere today and they got Rudolph everywhere, you better just walk on past Rudolph like, hey, Rudolph is there. And just go on and have yourself a good time. Don't you go in there condemning nobody. You see me? Because see, that ain't wisdom. You understand? But do understand when you try to celebrate it right, you're going to offend people. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they are trying to be politically correct. And so we see Herod being hypocritical in saying that he wants to worship Jesus when actually he wants to kill him. And I just want our church to be aware that the time we live in, people really want to kill Christmas for what it is. And it's our job to let them know that it's about the birth of the King, capital K. Okay? And that's enough for anybody to get happy over. Let's look at the religious people. They represent the chief priests and tribes. Because notice verse 4. And when they had gathered all the chief priests and scribes and people together, he inquired of them whether Christ was to be born. So they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet. Notice that even religious people were also troubled at the news of the Messiah, of the King, capital K, being born. And I come to tell you that even in our day and time, there are religious people who are in the church, yet they do not worship the truth. They don't want truth. They just want to come to church. They just want to be religious. but inwardly, they're not really celebrating the King, capital K. Religion, by the Hebrew and the Greek word, has to do with the holding of tradition. So in one sense, we are religious people because traditions are good. There are certain traditions we never need to let go. You need to hold on to it. Come on, church. There are certain traditions in your family. You don't ever need to let that tradition go. That's a good tradition. Hold on to it. Be religious about that. But not self-righteous. Do you feel me? Scribes and Pharisees were self-righteous in that, notice, they knew where Jesus would be born. To the point that where they could tell the wise men, hey, yeah, he's going to be born in Bethlehem. But I want y'all to notice something. They weren't going to Bethlehem to worship. They knew where he would be born. They knew the word, but weren't doers of it. Do you know in the church you got people that know the truth, but they don't do it? They've been taught right, but they won't do right. And there's a lot of churches today, sad to say, that they close today. But they're supposed to be celebrating Christ. And it's a good thing when this day can fall around the time that we actually celebrate. To me, that's more of a reason to say, hey, church gonna be awesome today. You got religious folk that saw it as a reason to say, hey, no church today. It's like throwing somebody a birthday party and you don't sing to them. You don't give them no gift. You don't recognize them. And it's supposed to be, if it's his party, then we got to keep him at the what? At the center of what we're doing. Come on, somebody. It ain't about you going out here running up every credit card you got because you want to bless. No, you may not be able to do exactly what you want to do. But understand, if you Christian, Christ in you. Christ in you. Come on, somebody. Because some of us back in the day, we would do stupid things for December 25th. And I don't want that to be at our church. I want us to know the truth and I want us to worship the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And then finally, you have the wise men. You have the wise men. Notice in verse 12, then being divinely warned in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed to their own country. Another way. One thing I want you to notice about wise people. Wise people are going to celebrate Christmas right. Notice that the wise men in the verse I just read were willing to disobey Herod, lowercase k, and obey the angel of God and do what was right.